Hey, there we are.
You're seeing it?
I'm seeing it.
Really?
Yep.
All right. It looks like.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
It wasn't breaking one, but our plan to pay attention to that.
Well done, David Lynch. The David Lynch. Hello, Christine. How are you? I completely forgot to answer your question. I'm just realizing that. Wait a minute. What's up, Matthew? Brian's ready. Yeah, we've got it. It's out to the west right now, but hopefully we don't get too much severe with it. We're not expecting a whole lot. That's the good news, but it can't be ruled out. Connor, what's going on, brother? Hey, Grace. No, not all night. Not all night. This will be one line moving through, but then we will get another round tomorrow night. The third and final round hits on Friday night. Thursday evening blessings to you and yours. Bill Taylor, Ken's 5 Digital Center, so glad to be with you. We've had some Facebook issues the last couple of nights, but we're here, we're live, and we've got a lot of action on the radar. Severe thunderstorm warning out to the west. San Antonio's been in the clear thus far, but you can see these storms are now just moving into central Medina County. Let me spread this just a little wider here on the view. And you can see again, well, now you lose that warning. I want to show you, well, not that one. We can look at that one in a moment. Might as well look at it now then. Boy, look at that, covering all of Zavala County, right? Strong thunderstorm. Let's see what the parameters are on this guy. Oh, wait a minute. And you can see storms kind of drifting up from the south. And this all forming together 8 miles northwest of Batesville to 9 miles northwest of Loma Vista. And again, nearly stationary. I've seen that behavior with a lot of these cells that haven't been moving much in the last several hours. Had one over Rock Springs, and what that's doing is causing some flood advisory in some of these areas as well. That's the question, right, Meg? I mean, a lot of times these storm lines collapse because of the urban heat island is its own little microclimate, and what can happen is you don't see the storms hold together. They hit that warm air and that warm column of air aloft, and remember, if there's warm air on top, we're not in a convective environment. We need cold air on top, and we definitely have that along these lines, but once you move into a city like San Antonio, and you got a good little urban heat island going, you can definitely enhance the cap just because of that urban heat island effect. So here's the other warning. This until 9:15, Bandera, Medina, Uvalde. And it's primarily that storm right over Highway 90, just kind of edging into Medina County right now. And let's get the parameters on this guy, both of which are producing about golf ball to nickel size hail, or I should say nickel to golf ball. That's been about the range. I mean, we haven't seen anything like we did last night in Atascosa County where we had nearly tennis ball size hailstones. Nothing on that size. Mostly between nickel and golf ball has been the trend. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. So why don't we do some tracking and see what time it moves into Helotes, opening night, Cornival, which is not good in that sense, right? Okay, 25. So let's go there, and we'll get that tool, and we'll first stop it right where it is. And now just go on that leading edge of the rain and going east at 25. You're going to get a lot of communities in here. Watch this. Yeah. So we got it in, gosh, it doesn't even showing Helotes right now, but Hondo 906, Castroville 944, Bernie at 1011, Leon Valley 1017, Wolf Stadium 1022, downtown 1037, Frost Bank Center, East Side 1045. That's holding together, moving east at 25. Hi, Jill.
Did you get my note?
I did not. Where's
Max 1 broadcasting.
Huh?
Oh, you were talking about Max 2. We were seeing Max 1 on Facebook.
Oh. Well, we're on Max 2 now, though. We're good. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Converse by 11, so maybe if it holds together through downtown, gets to eastern Bexar County. But the good news is this. Let me show you this. Most of the severe weather parameters, not really that. Okay. Very true. Okay. So, David, it's doing that again. I need Max 2. So you're looking at the storms. What I'm doing, thank you, Jillian. I just realized that as I changed the graphic, because I was on the exact same graphic you were seeing on both. That's why I was like, I think it was remedied, but now it's remedied.
Because you were talking about warnings, and I was like,
Yeah.
there's no warnings showing up.
You're the best. Thanks, Jill.
So ignore my text.
No, not at all. Never. But thank you. All right, just getting this in from the weather chat. We've got 2 3/4 inch size hail at Zavala County. So that warning, and as I mentioned, okay, so severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. And again, notice how San Antonio not in that. New Braunfels, Seguin, not in that watch until midnight. All right, so this is the storm down in here. Let's take a look instead at hail tracker. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so almost 3-inch diameter size hail outside of Crystal City right now. That hail core is impressive, very large too. Look at that. And so we can go in here and query the size of this, 2.2. So right on par with what I'm getting on the National Weather Service chat. It's all 2.2, is that, or 1.9, but okay. You get the idea. And let's see what that hail core in the last hour, don't know that we'll see much movement. See, it's just kind of blooming right where it is. That's why it's saying nearly stationary when I read that report. And let's see if that's the only hail out there, really. Not impressive on the hail in Hondo. That little shade of purple is going to probably be marble size at the most, so not a big concern there. Let's go ahead and save that view and go in here. And now I was doing some tracking. East at 35 miles per hour. Let's get a now image on that and show you what I was just talking about. Thought you were seeing along with me, but you were not seeing along with me. Thanks to Jill. Okay, so here we go. Oh, what did I do? Grabbed the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. Hondo 8:59, right at 9 o'clock. Lake Hills, Medina Lake, 9:30. Leon Valley, 10:17. Downtown, 10:34. So, and again, that's the leading edge of the heaviest rainfall. What's been interesting, let me show you something so my wife was out at Cornival, and there's been concern over what they're hearing, which is thunder. So take a look at what is happening in northwest Bexar County near Helotes. See those little lightning bolts that are showing up? And there's no rain, right? So I don't know if you could see it, but I can pause this and show you what I'm talking about. Like right there, okay? So let me get an arrow here so I can give you an idea what I'm, see that lightning bolt there, that one there, okay? See where those are? Notice how far away that lightning bolt right there is from the storms. I mean, we are talking miles away. As in, let's go ahead and measure it. 45, okay, I'll give it 45 to the rain. This is why if you hear thunder, lightning can strike where you're standing. The phrase that I always teach children in schools, if thunder roars, get indoors. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter if you saw the lightning bolt. If you can hear thunder, lightning can strike where you're standing. This lightning bolt, this is real. And this occurred 45 miles away from the thunderstorm. Lightning travels cloud to cloud. We know this. A simple cloud's already got electrical currents going. Ben Franklin, that's what he was talking about when he did the experiment, the famous kite experiment. So again, this is so important to point these things out, these moments, because again, my wife was calling me, hey, we're out here at the fairgrounds, because she's on the board of the HFA and they run Cornyball. And so she's like, we're hearing thunder. Look at that. So look at how many now. Let me get my pointer back and show you that it's, oh, that's the wrong tool. Just a second. This guy. Oh no, I lost it. Hold on. Ay. Okay. Sorry for the hiccup. Thank you for your patience. Okay. This guy, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts, okay? You're gonna hear thunder. And you're like, it's not even raining. It's just cloudy. Lightning can strike where you're standing if you hear thunder. It can happen every time, okay? So again, please, when thunder roars, get indoors. They shut down the tall rides out at Cornyball for a little while because of that. All the stadiums in San Antonio have lightning detectors that can pick up a lightning bolt like this 30 to 40 miles away. And that's why it's so crucial that I show you that reality, because a lot of people underestimate lightning. I don't know what the statistics are. Let's take a look. I wonder what they are currently. You know, years ago, lightning was one of the top weather killers. How many people die annually in the United States from lightning strikes? According to Google AI, about 20 people are killed by lightning in the United States every year. Hundreds more injured. Lightning deaths have been decreasing since the mid-2000s. All right, number one weather killer. Anybody know? Worldwide and South Texas. I don't know about United States, but I do. Worldwide is heat. I mean, that should go without really, that's not a big mystery. But what do you think it is in Texas? You're going to think hurricanes, tornadoes. Let's see what you guys think. I want to get your answers and what y'all think about that. Number one weather killer in Texas is the question. Heat. Lightning bolt hit in Pleasanton. See that? Well, there it is. Look at that. Right over the end in Pleasanton, Brianna. Best peanut butter around. And I'm not even kidding. It's phenomenal. And look at that. See it? Once again, it happens. I hope you're indoors, Brianna. If that's something, are you hearing thunder where you are? I'm sorry, Gracie. I was off questions for a moment. What was your question? Flooding. Sissy got it. Sissy Leal's our winner. Flooding is the number one weather killer in South Texas, and it's because we live in what's called Flash Flood Alley. Remember that we're on a slope. We literally are a city on a hill. And so when it rains, as heavy as this rain is coming down, which is sometimes 1.5 inches to 2 inches per hour, which I'm noticing a very good sign here. Notice the decrease in lightning as we're getting closer to Hondo. You see that line and how there's less and less lightning? that is a good sign that the cells are beginning to weaken a bit. We're losing some of the updraft. Lightning is a great proxy for the amount of updraft we're seeing in a thunderstorm. Remember that I always like to put it this way. Thunderstorms are like living, breathing organisms that take this big inhale of warm, moist air and build. But then there's an exhale. And a lot of times when that happens, that downdraft will create more storms out ahead of it, almost like a little mini boundary that comes out. The colder air comes down, hits the surface, pushes out. And if you've got the right triggers in place, then you erupt an isolated thunderstorm out ahead of that one. That's part of what puts together what's called an MCS, a mesoscale convective system, because it just kind of creates its own thunderstorms, and it's a self-producing system. Okay, it's not the cold front any longer. It's not the trough any longer. It's not a dry line any longer. Instead, it's just a bundle of instability and energy, and you start seeing that downdraft create more thunderstorms, and this little system starts to grow in size. And we kind of saw that a little bit today. You can, if I back up, let me see, to about, say, 5 hours, okay? And if you watch, let me take the lightning off because it's difficult to see with the lightning. And let's see if we see it anywhere. Okay. Like, see these little cells right in here? Let me show you with the pointer. See the cells right here? That's building off of the downdraft of this storm. It'll pop an isolated one there. Let's go a little farther. And that's essentially what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, there's one right there. Right down. Look over south of Uvalde, if you know where Uvalde is without the, let me zoom in a little bit and you'll see where Uvalde is. In fact, it's where that warning is right there. See it? So the downdraft from this storm here helping produce some of this action over Uvalde, okay? Again, and now it all kind of joins together nicely, right? Let's get back to a 2-hour loop and lose our pointer. But yeah, again, breathing in that very good updraft, that moist, warm air, and building, okay? And so when we see more and more lightning, that means that there's a higher amount of updraft, a stronger amount of updraft. You'll see those clusters of lightning occur. In fact, if we go back, like you said, to the 5-hour, you can actually watch what I'm talking about happen. You can watch as those clusters really start to focus, or like, look what's happening at Crystal City. See how that looks a lot different than what's moving into Hondo. And that's why that hail is a lot larger. Like, look at that hail tracker once again. See? And again, that's why we look at those lightning clusters to see where we could be getting the largest hail. So moving east at 25, I'm still thinking we get rain in San Antonio, but as we start seeing this lightning frequency lower and decrease, it's a good sign that this storm line won't be as severe and produce large hail in San Antonio. Could we still see hail? Absolutely. But I just don't think it's going to be tennis ball. It's going to be smaller hail. Yeah, as I was just mentioning, Sylvester, I hope you heard that. Somerset should hold together for South Bexar County. Absolutely getting some rain. Just got home. Okay, Brianna. Yeah, okay. At the golf course, where if you hear thunder out there, they've got to shut things down and get people off the course. Golf courses are very, very dangerous during lightning. Lightning will always hit the tallest object. Don't ever go stand under a tree. Worst place you can go. Get inside a car, get inside a house or a building. It's a matter of, now if you're on a golf course and you can't, you get as low as you can. You get low. You ball up and get small and low. That's the best thing to do. There's an old joke about what Lee Trevino says. He said, if you're a golfer, you get this. You take a 1-iron out of your bag and you hold it up high because even God can't hit a 1-iron. It's an old joke, really hard club to hit. Hondo has thunder. Yeah, so Hondo is definitely going to be getting some very heavy rain in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Could get some small hail there in Hondo for sure. Any more for Uvalde? Hi, Natalie. No, you know, this you should start stabilizing. There are a few showers. You can see some downpours near Del Rio, so maybe, but it wouldn't last long if you get one. It would be a quick little isolated. Most of the storms break up or completely die in the northwest. Hoping for some rain for your birthday. Happy birthday, Randall. Happy birthday. Do you think these storms will reach my house? Hanak, you are in Catula, so I think so. You know, that storm line is drifting nicely to the south and east. There's still plenty of moisture to work with. I mean, look at these dew points, guys. This is a ripe atmosphere. I'm telling you right now, dew points have been 70 plus for the last several hours. Now, they're going to decrease as we get into the evening, but not very much. It's still a very moist atmosphere. Amanda, it could be some hail, but it's going to be small. We are not in the severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. That's going to be for areas west. But it doesn't mean we won't see severe weather. It's still possible in San Antonio. It's just not probable. I think we could see hail, but I think it's going to be smaller than anything dangerous as far as size is concerned. Okay, I think, you know, you go golf ball, that's the beginning of damaging size hailstones, you know. That storm down to the south, notice the threat. This is something new that the National Weather Service began issuing along with the warnings. The threat level. Considerable is what you'll see most, but some of these cells I've seen today, destructive, and you see it in this box until 9:30. That is the storm that's currently dropping into Crystal City and southern Zavala County. Batesville, La Pryor, going to be in the path of that storm. Corpus getting rain over the weekend. Hey, Veronica or Denise. Yes, tomorrow night and Saturday look to be the best chances of rain on the coast. Hey, Poteet. Where's that, Lise? Oh, excuse me. Hi, Lise. Poteet, yeah, I think you'll get some rain. Again, once we get into San Antonio and directly south and east, doesn't appear that there's a great severe weather threat in that area. It just appears that we get some of the rain tonight, some beneficial rains. But again, we're starting to see some of that lightning thin out a bit, and that's a good sign right there on what's happening in Medina County. I want to show you something else while we're here, and that's whether or not we're getting any shear and rotation. You know, tornadoes were a minimal threat, but when we look at velocities, we can get a good idea on winds. Pardon me. What I do want to show you first, before we go, let me get back to this real quick, and reflectivity. We watch for what's called a bow echo on radar. And so what you're seeing here, when you look at this line, notice if you look at Hondo and see how this is kind of bowing out just a little bit, it's not as severe. Like sometimes you'll get it to where it looks like a greater than symbol. And it's a really good, like almost like bent like this, you know. And in this area right in here, like the nose of it, would be some extreme winds. That's what that indicates in radar meteorology. And so you can see Hondo, that's going to be the gustiest winds as you see that bowing out just a little bit like that. Nothing severe or real prominent, so I'm not expecting anything huge. But now that you can see what I'm talking about, now let's go back to velocities and show you what we're looking for to see rotation. So when we're looking at with velocity, wind towards the radar site is going to be green. Wind away from the radar site, moving in a direction away from the radar site, is in red. Okay, so it's like incoming wind, outgoing. Incoming green, outgoing red. If those match up next to each other, what we call a couplet, and they're side by side, that's indicating rotation. Okay, and so we look for that, and whether or not it's really well defined, and you can see it's not at all. I mean, there is no spot of like red and green right on top of each other. So we're not concerned about rotation at all. Now you can see that there's no rain out there, so don't be misled by New Braunfels and Gonzales and the red and green. And you can see we're looking at the Bracketville radar, where that is originating in between Uvalde and Del Rio. And then we switch over, that's the New Braunfels radar once we moved into this site. So we're kind of in between both, and I wanted to look at that Hondo storm. Now, here's what we can do is estimate some of the wind speeds in that. Oh, it's giving me the warning instead. Let's take off the warnings real quick so I can get this.
I'm assuming that was just a one deal. Maybe.
Okay, now let's get a look.
Yeah, it's gonna break. It's gonna
Coming up on Hondo. Oh, give me the speed. Why aren't you showing me the speed, guys?
That sounds like a glorious way to spend the day.
Oh, I don't know why that's not giving me speeds right now. That's odd. All right. No worries. So it'll give you an estimate. It's a computerized, estimate on what those wind speeds could be doing in that region of the thunderstorm. And I would imagine it's probably 50 miles per hour, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Gusts are going up near 60. Again, hail size has not been too much of a concern in that Hondo storm. It's really that Uvalde one, or I should say now Crystal City one. Had a tornado on the ground near Killeen today. Wouldn't that effect cause a hook echo? So yes, that couplet, exactly right. So when you see the water, and what's happening is the radar is seeing that the water is being spun. And so that's why the reflectivity comes back in that hook shape, and as water is being whipped around inside that storm. So you're either getting rotation, or it's the beginning signs of some rotation in the storm, which doesn't mean a tornado. It just means that one could be forming, or there is one. Now we do have the technology. What's really cool is that when we have that couplet, we look at what's called the correlation coefficient. And that is what tells us if there's debris getting picked up. So what the correlation coefficient is able to do is pick up whether or not it's water or not water. That's essentially what it's doing. And so you know that if it's not water and it's right around that storm, then we've got something airborne. We've got debris in the air. And so that means that, because remember, a tornado is a huge vacuum. It's a huge sucking motion in the atmosphere, so it's sucking everything up into it and spinning around. So there's things airborne inside the vortex, and in the movie Twister, I called it the suck zone. And inside that vortex, things that are flying around that are not water will get picked up by that correlation coefficient. So okay, that's a tornado because we've got debris airborne inside. So it's grateful for the incredible technology we have to look at these storms with. Will San Antonio get crazy weather tonight? I don't think so. I mean, crazy, I love you too, Gabrielle. Good to see you. I think, again, it'll be something that we have to watch closely because the environment's conducive. I mean, even though we're not in the watch, let me show you something. Remember Fire Marshal Bill? We're in a 2 out of 5 risk. This will begin to change as the night wears on. They'll start dropping the western counties like Del Rio and Eagle Pass, Maverick and Valverde. They'll start dropping those out of this number 2, maybe go down to a 1 for the rest of the night. But you can see the little sliver of 2 out of 5 risk of severe. Watch this, tomorrow night, round 3. And we've got most of San Antonio, if not all of San Antonio in the metro, but as far south as Atascosa County, even into McMullen counties, Live Oak counties, under a 2 out of 5. This is with a cold front that's coming in. So let me show you what we're expecting. First things first, tomorrow's a big day in San Antonio. It is Fiesta Friday. The kids are home from school, and the annual Battle of Flowers Parade will take place. It starts at 10:30 downtown, and the forecast looks good. I mean, we're going to stay cloudy, we're going to stay humid, but we get a little smidge of sunshine by mid-morning, but we won't get rain. The rain's going to hold off, and we're going to be getting our parade in without much rain at all. I can't rule out some isolated sprinkles, maybe a quick little shower at the most. It will not be rain. It'll just be like a little sprinkle or a little mist maybe. We'll call it partly sunny. But the good news is that the rain holds off. So let me show you when we do expect the rain, what we expect the rest of tonight for that matter, okay? So this model, the IBM, this has been doing an incredible job lately, just really nailing these forecasts. And so I'm sticking with the one who you came with, right? So watch as the storms, now it's got the storms in here at 9 right now. So it's initializing fairly well. I mean, this is pretty close to the current picture. just not as well defined a line, right? It certainly isn't raining like that over Kendall County. Let's go back to the real view and the live radar and see how well they match up. Okay, so you can still see the line, but oh man, that storm, it's collapsing fast, especially across northern Medina County. North of Hondo, we're really losing that storm fast. Look at that. It's really breaking up. It's dying. I wonder if they're starting to get a little bit of light rain in Elotes. Okay. Got to give my wife an update. So sorry, I'm live on Facebook. ... You can watch on the Ken's 5 Facebook page. ... But we should be starting to see some light rain move into the area. The storms are collapsing fast as they approach Bexar County. Okay. A lot of people out there at Corneyval. Got to keep them safe. God bless you all. Be safe. Lord, protect them tonight. I think we'll be fine. It looks like it's just going to be light rain heading into northwest Bexar County. So, hello, Connie. What's happening? David, if I waited until tomorrow to cut the grass, it would have poured. But since I hurried and did it tonight, mark my words, Stone Oak will stay dry. Right? It's like the old washing of the car. You might be right, David. I hate to say that, but you know, I can't rule out a complete collapse. I've been doing weather here almost 30 years. I've seen it too many times, as you have as well. Storm lines will come in and out of the hill country and just collapse, and this is why, once again, that we were not under the severe thunderstorm watch. I mean, look at how quickly these storms. It looks like it holds together for Hondo, but maybe eclipse Somerset. I mean, southern Bexar County's got a much better chance of getting heavier rain than North Bexar County. I will say that. Hey, Hilda, looking yummy, Connie. Send me. Oh, come on. Grace, storms zap the atmosphere. Yes, good job, Grace. It's actually exactly right. But, you know, we're not going to get the heaviest storms to really zap it completely, and that's why we've got to take a look at future radar. And I've got to show you what we're expecting tomorrow night. Cold front drops into this humid atmosphere. Remember, we're going to continue to see southeast winds pouring in Gulf humidity. And because of that, what we do rain out of the atmosphere is replenished quickly. We get precipitable water right back up into this atmosphere quickly. And that means that we will have another good chance of rain tomorrow night. So look at how fast even future radar collapses that storm right on top of us. It holds together for Wilson, Carnes, down to George West, and then does not even make it to the coast by midnight into the 1 a.m. hour. Now, here's Friday. Here's Johnny. We go into the morning, all right? Parade time. Looking good. Like I said, maybe a couple sprinkles, but nothing measurable. Then we get into the afternoon. Now here comes some heating, and we start popping some downpours, right? Kerrville. San Marcos, Canyon Lake, New Braunfels, maybe a couple of isolated downpours. Now here comes showtime. Cold front drops in. We start seeing storms develop east first, and then on top of us by 7, 8 o'clock. About this time tomorrow night. Here's 9 o'clock tomorrow night, 24 hours from now, and the Highway 90 corridor again. So here's the thing. The best storms out there tonight were Uvalde to Hondo. I would say it'd be a long shot to get an exact repeat like you're seeing on this future radar, but I'm not going to rule it out on a model that's done a phenomenal job lately, okay? I'm trusting this model more than any other right now. Into the 9, 10 o'clock hour, we've got the very heavy rain into San Antonio and then pushing south by midnight. Notice that this does make it to the coast. That's why Friday night and then on Saturday we've got a good chance of rain on the coast. Let's move forward into, speaking of Saturday, and look at that. Nice north wind. Might have to drop that rain chance to 20% because the atmosphere is going to stabilize quick. This front makes it south, and so we're going to get a good gusty north wind on Saturday. Cooler by like almost 10 degrees cooler. That's a pretty good cold front for the first weekend of May, I promise you. Adriana, and by the way, Adriana rather, speaking of Saturday morning, a great morning for the parade. Is there lightning in the area? They want to open the tall rides. So see, this is when forecasting becomes the highest pressure. When you got to answer specific questions about, that's why like I would never want to. The toughest jobs in meteorology are like PGA, NFL, where NCAA, where they're looking at you, and you got a game with 100,000 people in a stadium. What's it going to do? And you've got to give them an answer for 3 o'clock tomorrow. I mean, that's some high pressure forecasting. Okay, no lightning in the area.
In the link, like you can hear him say, like, "What do you want to say, mom?" And I think it's
You're good.
Simon's mom. No way. Yeah. So I know who she is, but yeah.
But rain getting close. I don't know why I'm not voice texting. Charles or Javi, it's a steady drizzle now. Lake Hills near Medina. That's all that is a steady drizzle. See? Even some of that yellow. I was hoping to be a little heavier for Medina Lake, to be honest with you, Charles. Olga has 1-inch size hail, 60 miles per hour on the winds. Where's that, Chip? Or is that the name of the town? Where's Olga? Hey, Bill. Looks like shirts will miss out. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't look good for Eastern Bexar County. It looks like Southern Bexar County is going to be the best spot, to be honest with you. Cool and windy in Hondo. So, yeah, you're behind the, here comes the storms. I mean, you're going to get some heavy rain if it's not there already, Kathy. Maria, hello. Thank you very much. Leon and I are big fans. Thank you so much, Maria. Hi, Leon. Here's to you guys. Thank you all so much. God bless you. Got to take the drink. Okay, by the way, when you toast, did you know, I mean, a lot of people, like, sometimes will toast and put the drink down. No. After you toast, you got to take the sip. You complete all 5 senses. That's one of the magical parts of the toast, right? So you're going to hear it when you click the glasses. You're going to smell it. You're going to see it. You're going to be feeling it. Now you got to be tasting it, right? Complete the senses. Okay. Learned that from my good buddy from an Italian restaurant, Lorenzo's. Anybody remember Lorenzo's that used to be right here in the medical center years ago? Right on Medical at Fred. Man, I miss that little Italian restaurant. And my boy Rick was such a great guy. I'd sit and have a meal with him. On some nights I would, be staying here in between and not go home for dinner, and I'd run over and get a good Italian meal. Man, I miss that restaurant. It was a little strip mall that is now, if you know where the Whataburger is at Medical and Fred, that's what replaced that strip center. And it was the most, can I tell you, it was the most bizarre strip center, like hodgepodge of businesses I've ever seen. Okay, check this out. On the corner closest to Fredericksburg Road was the Pressure Cooker. That was the name of this small bar that was on the corner. Next in was the laundromat, and then next was a little taqueria, then next was Lorenzo's, and then on the other end was a daycare. I am not lying. That was, I could be missing the order, but those were the businesses that were in this little strip center. And then it got taken out for the parking lot of Whataburger. It's like, really? I was so sad because Lorenzo's was so good. I love that restaurant. Yeah, so lightning's not too far from y'all, man. In New Braunfels, I'm reading New Braunfels from Nicole. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Good to see you, Nicole. Do the domes going to stay in place for New Braunfels? Right, exactly. The old dome, Under the Dome. Remember that show? And yes, I don't see much of this rain making it to New Braunfels. You might get some light rain, but it really is trending southeast over the next couple of hours. What I'm seeing, it's collapsing fast. Elisa is sitting up in the hospital looking out towards north and west while it's San Antonio Med, seeing some flashes. Yeah, definitely you're looking at the top of the storms that are in Hondo. I mean, they're miles away, 30, 40 miles from you. But you're looking at the top, because remember, these thunderstorms are 5, 6, 7 miles in height from the surface up, miles. And so it can be so far away, and if you're at the right elevation, you can definitely see the top. and you'll just see the flashes of lightning. You won't sometimes hear the thunder. You're so far away, and you're not getting any rainfall, right? So that was the misnomer that people would call that heat lightning, because it would typically be in spring and summer. We had a hot afternoon, and these big thunderstorms build miles away, and all you see is the flash, and oh yeah, that's heat lightning. There's no such thing as heat lightning. Heat does not produce lightning. So what is actually occurring is you're just looking at the top of a thunderstorm so far away that you don't hear the thunder and you're not getting the rainfall. Hanak, my wife just started drinking mushroom coffee. Does she like it? Is it effective? Because I found some K-cups recently of mushroom coffee, and I tried it. I couldn't tell if it was beneficial or not. I didn't drink it for long. I mean, I drank, a case of 12 or 20 K-cups, whatever that is. Central SA, probably not much. I mean, a light rain is all I'm thinking. Lightning's getting close again, though, and I think they're going to be okay, though. I really do. Yeah, they're going to be fine out there in Helotes. Severe thunderstorm warning, 1 1/4 inch size hail, Zavala County continues. So no more on the warning at Hondo. That's good news, but this is still a very active or strong storm over Zavala County. So we'll leave it here on this view right here, okay? And I'm going to have to get going for the 10 o'clock now as we get closer. So love y'all. Good news is, you know what? Let me go ahead and save that view so I can go right to it. I want to give you guys, I hate to leave without giving you the most important 14-day forecast from the San Antonio Riverwalk. Tomorrow is a weather impact alert because we are expecting another round, one more final round of strong to severe storms, mainly tomorrow night. During the day, we're fine. Then behind the cold front that's coming through Friday, a cooler, breezy weekend where we expect temperatures to bottom out lower 80s, and a north to northeast wind is gusting on Saturday, dies down a little bit on Sunday, and I might drop those rain chances of 30%. I might even go to 20%. I want to, what I just saw with that IBM model, I want to drop it all together. But we're definitely coming back up on a chance for Monday, Cinco de Mayo, Tuesday the 6th, the last rain chance for a while, as we kind of dry out heading into the second week of May and through the second week of May. So there's your 14-day forecast. But I want to leave you with radar since it is still very active. Again, stay weather aware for the next 24 hours, please. We will deal with this up until, let's just call it midnight to 1 a.m. Saturday. Okay, so we've got this round here, which again, the severe threat diminishing fast for San Antonio right now. Good news. No severe weather warnings in the area right now. But we will again have round 3 tomorrow night and another good chance of strong to severe storms. Please stay weather aware. Download the KENS 5 app on your phone. You have radar in the palm of your hand. You have notifications when warnings come out. Very important to stay weather aware so that, again, your phone is going to be the one that tells you in case you're watching something on Netflix or Hulu, which I don't understand why you would do that. Hey, Adriana, how are you? You certainly don't. Once you put on KENS 5, you can toss the remote away. I'm just saying. I mean, that's what I did. I love you all. God bless you and your families, and I hope you can join us for KENS 5 News at 10.